Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Houston Rockets player Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested on Monday morning for allegedly assaulting and strangling his girlfriend, WNBA player Kysre Gondrezick.
We're going to turn now to the other news of the day. And NBA player Kevin Porter is now under arrest and charged with beating his girlfriend, a former WNBA player, at a hotel on Manhattan's East Side. Police say it happened early this morning when Porter's girlfriend locked him out of their hotel room at the Millennium Hotel because Porter was out late. When the 23-year-old returned to the locked door, hotel security had to let him in. Police say once inside, the Houston Rockets player attacked his girlfriend. She was taken to the hospital after she suffered a cut to her face and neck pain. Police charged Porter with assault and strangulation. The Houston Rockets say that they are also now investigating the incident.
Now, in this alleged incident that took place early Monday morning, Kevin Porter Jr. was returning from a night out to the Millennium Hotel, where he was staying with his girlfriend, Kysre Gondrezick, and as he returned up to his room, he found the door locked and no way for him to get in. And after he returned with hotel security to get into his hotel room, it is alleged that Kevin Porter Jr. got into an alleged altercation with his girlfriend, Kysre Gondrezick, where he allegedly beat her up to the point where she was allegedly bloody and wound up with fractured vertebrae in her neck. Now, after this entire assault, where Kevin Porter Jr. allegedly squoze Kysre Gondrezick's neck to the point where she was unable to breathe, the police came and allegedly arrested Kevin Porter Jr. for an alleged assault on his girlfriend. Now, the police see the alleged assault Kevin Porter Jr. allegedly perpetrated on his girlfriend, Kysre Gondrezick, as an isolated incident of domestic violence. But when I take a critical examination of the alleged behavior and background of Kevin Porter Jr., this alleged assault fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that Kevin Porter Jr. is a product of an intergenerational man in crisis because he's following the same paradigm of self-destruction that allegedly led to the passing of his father, Kevin Porter Sr. Now, Kevin Porter Jr.'s father, Kevin Porter Sr., allegedly wound up getting arrested for allegedly taking the life of a 14-year-old girl, and after winding up being charged with murder, he pleaded down to manslaughter and wound up doing 4 years in prison for taking the life of this 14-year-old girl. And as Kevin Porter Sr. wound up becoming a father himself, he wound up losing his life in 2004 in a bar where he was shot 5 times, and this led to Kevin Porter Jr. winding up being raised by his single mother, and as he was raised by his single mother, he wound up becoming a beta male who did not have a father to give him any sort of guidance. And as he didn't have a father to give him any sort of guidance in order to navigate life as a man, Kevin Porter Jr. wound up becoming a man in crisis, even though he was a very gifted and talented basketball player. He just was not raised with the foundations of manhood that would enable him to be able to maintain the success that he was able to get as he became an NBA player. Now, the big problem with Kevin Porter Jr. is the fact that because he did not have a father in his life, Kevin Porter Jr. never learned how the world works for men and did not learn that the world works differently for men than it does for women. And as a result of this, Kevin Porter Jr. basically believes that he can go out here and act just like his single mother, being emotional and going out here and acting on his impulses and his feelings. Moreover, it looks like Kevin Porter Jr. also learned the dysfunctional thug culture that has been a staple of mainstream media as related to the black male image. And because of this, Kevin Porter Jr. has been on a road to self-destruction, even as he has achieved great success as an NBA player. And because he does not know how to function as a man, what has happened is he has wound up becoming his own worst enemy, undermining all of his success. Now, this isn't the first alleged incident of violence from Kevin Porter Jr. ever since he was drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2020. In August of 2020, Kevin Porter Jr. was alleged to have punched a woman and pulled her hair while in downtown Cleveland, while that woman got into an argument with Kevin Porter Jr., and Kevin Porter allegedly punched her in the face. Now, Kevin Porter Jr. was not charged in that alleged incident. However, he was charged for participating in an incident for being in possession of a loaded firearm after getting into a single car accident, and was released on $4,000 bond. Now, after one season with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kevin Porter Jr. wound up being traded to the Rockets in 2021 after he exploded in a rage in the Cleveland Cavaliers locker room after finding out his locker had been given to someone else. Now, after being told that his locker had been given to someone else, Kevin Porter Jr. began yelling and threw food, and even though Cleveland Cavaliers general manager Kobe Altman tried to calm him down, Kevin Porter Jr. was so out of control that Cleveland Cavaliers management told him to clean out his locker and that he would no longer be a part of the team, and was traded to Houston. And after Kevin Porter Jr. was traded to Houston, he seemed to be on a road of being a player that was just a part of the team until this alleged incident of domestic violence. Now, this incident of domestic violence, I believe, happened because Kevin Porter Jr. became incensed about being locked out of his hotel room by his girlfriend. And I believe what happened here with Kevin Porter is what happens with many beta males who come from abusive home environments. Many of these beta males, because they've gone out here and they had girlfriends who have modeled this type of dysfunctional behavior of allegedly locking out their boyfriends for staying out too late. What these women do is lock the man out, and as they lock the man out of the home to teach him a lesson about coming in to the home on a time that the woman deems right, what happens is those men in the old days of the 70s, they would submit to this kind of thing. But Kevin Porter Jr. basically wasn't having it as related to this situation. And as he wasn't having it, he went down to stairs to the hotel's concierge desk, contacted hotel security to open the door of this hotel room. And after he got the door of the hotel room open to gain access to his personal property and access to his room, this is where, after hotel security let him in, this is where I believe Kevin Porter Jr. allegedly went out here and exploded in this rage, where he allegedly went out here and physically assaulted his girlfriend, Kysre Gondrezick, by punching her in the face and then looking to strangle her. And as he exploded in this rage in an effort to punish Kysre Gondrezick for allegedly disrespecting him by locking him out of the hotel room that he paid for, this is where Kevin Porter Jr. went and exploded in a rage that basically showed how much of a man in crisis he is, because he did not get the male life skills and male survival skills of critical thinking and conflict resolution from his father or other men around him. And because he wasn't socialized to be a critical thinker and find a way to resolve this conflict as related to a girlfriend who he believed was acting out of pocket by locking him out of a hotel room that he paid for, what he did was act on his impulses and act emotionally by going out here looking to physically assault his girlfriend and look to go out here and punish her for disrespecting him. Now, this is the kind of behavior that, again, beta males participate in order to deal with what they believe is an out-of-pocket woman. But the way a critical thinking man deals with that entire situation is he goes out here and contacts hotel security to let him inside of the room that he paid for, because that is his right as a customer. And after he gets his things out of that hotel room, he then looks to go out here and close out that hotel room. And if the hotel has another room, he goes out here and gets that room, and he doesn't pay for that other room that his girlfriend is in, because if she can go out here and lock that man out of his hotel room that he is paying for, then she can go out here and pay for that hotel room, and she can go out here and pay for it all by herself. Moreover, after this type of disrespect, any critical thinking man knows that there is no more relationship with that woman, because if this woman wants to go out here and disrespect a man by trying to lock him out of a place that he's staying because she's upset about him staying out too late, then that woman is not the woman for him. And what that man does is he cuts ties with that woman after he gets his own room. He cuts ties with that woman, and he has nothing else to do with that woman. Because if a woman looks to try to control a man's behavior, it's her trying to lead that man. And the man is supposed to be the leader in that situation. And again, the man shows he's a leader by going out here and showing that he has critical thinking skills and the ability to problem solve as he's navigating through his emotions. Yes, he may be upset about this woman locking him out of a hotel room, but he doesn't act on those feelings. No, he critically thinks about the situation and realizes that if this woman would disrespect him by trying to control his behavior, by locking him out of a hotel room that he is paying for, he realizes that this level of disrespect is something that he's not going to put up with, and he sets a boundary for how he's treated by going out here and ending the relationship at this point, because this type of behavior is only going to get worse and it's not going to get better. And again, a man does not need to put hands on a woman who is disrespectful like this. No, what a man needs to do is just say, okay, this is not the woman for me, and it's time for me to just let this woman go, because I value my intangibles of manhood, like my dignity, my self-respect, and my freedom. And if this woman wants to play these type of disrespectful games, then it's time for me to take my respect by taking my presence away from that woman. Unfortunately, Kevin Porter Jr. was a beta male, and he was a beta male basically, I believe, from the streets. And as a beta male from the streets, he believed the way to deal with this woman, Kysre Gondrezick's disrespect, as he believed it to be, was to go out here and put hands on this woman, not understanding he had more to lose as related to this entire situation, because as an NBA player, he was already on thin ice after exploding in this rage where he basically tore up the locker room in the Cleveland Cavaliers when he was a part of the team by showing how out of control he was. Because if the general manager, again, who is one of the highest male authority figures, cannot get you to gain self-control over something as simple as a locker change, then there's a real serious problem with this man as related to him being able to navigate through his emotions. And because there's a problem with him being able to navigate through his emotions, he would be a liability. And that's what the Cleveland Cavaliers came to the conclusion as related to Kevin Porter Jr.'s behavior, that yes, he may be a good player as an asset on the court, but he's a liability due to his combative mindset. And this is why they wanted to get this player off their team. And now the Houston Rockets are now dealing with the same type of liability from Kevin Porter Jr., who has gone from being an NBA player, possibly making 6 to 7 figures, to basically winding up on the road to becoming a man in crisis, who may possibly be on the road to becoming an inmate, because the way he assaulted his girlfriend Kysre Gondrezick by beating her bloody and leaving her with a fractured neck vertebrae, this basically may possibly be the thing that may put him on the road to the same road to prison that his father was on. And instead of him going for a slam dunk, he's going to be trying to avoid a spit roast from Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles, as they're looking to trade some NBA booty for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light, packets of Taster's Choice coffee, snack pack pudding, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand lemon cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, Fritos chips, Pop-Tarts, peppermint balls, and other assorted items on commissary. I mean, it would be very sad to see Kevin Porter Jr. going from being one of the NBA players who was a part of 2 major NBA teams to going to being an inmate inside of Sing Sing here in New York, because these are serious charges. And this would be a serious fall for Kevin Porter Jr., and it would be a serious fall for him. But this fall is what happens to many beta males who do not have the male life skills or male survival skills to maintain their success. And because they don't have the male life skills or male survival skills taught to them by men like their fathers, who Kevin Porter Jr. didn't have, because his father was acting just as impulsively as he did after coming out of prison and not thanking God that he could have gone to prison for the rest of his life. No, Kevin Porter Sr. wound up on the road to death after doing 4 years in prison, and his son sadly is following in his footsteps. And as he follows in his footsteps, it basically shows me that Kevin Porter Jr. is an intergenerational man in crisis who has not learned anything about manhood. And because he didn't learn anything about manhood, he is blowing the opportunity of a lifetime, blowing an opportunity at success, and has gone from being an asset as a star NBA player to being a liability that most teams don't want to deal with. And that is all due to the dysfunctional way he was raised by his single mother. And because he was raised by a single mother, he has gone from a man who was a successful NBA player to becoming a man in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads to males like Kevin Porter Jr. winding up on a dysfunctional road to becoming a man in crisis, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you'd like to see me make more videos talking about the Man Crisis and solutions to the Man Crisis, you can send a donation to the PayPal, the Patreon, or the Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.